We're live. That's right. We're live. Okay, good. I love it. This is the very first time I'm using streaming software so I can go live. And if this is working, we are live on, of course, YouTube, X, and TikTok. Fingers crossed. I'm depending on Justin to hook me up. Let's see here. Mark, Mike, participants. Cam, speaker, react, raise, layout, script, share. I'm just assuming comments will show up somewhere. I have no idea where, to be honest with you. It's the first time I'm using this platform. So we will see. I'm going to call Justin. Be like, yo, bro. When that timer right there is done, we'll start this show, playa. Good morning, sir. I was just going to let you know that I'm using a new streaming platform today that's Riverside, and it's I should be live streaming on YouTube, X, and TikTok right now. But I don't think maybe you can get to it the way you always do. So, like if you go to my YouTube channel, um, I don't know if it's going to say live right now. I don't know what it says because I'm streaming in through third party. So if you don't mind, I don't know. Let's take a look at it, bro. I am live, so and I know YouTube is one of the ones I'm live on. So it's actually YouTube and X. TikTok isn't. Shut up, dude. For real? OMG! I can't believe it freaking worked. Okay, cool, bro. All right, I'll see you in a second. All right, bye. What? It freaking worked, dude. Freaking worked. Oh my god, that's insane. Okay, very cool. Oh my god, look, look. You know what that is? Oh my gosh. Huh. Oh my word. Oh my word. Mm. Mm. Well, good morning, business builders, and welcome to Business for Breakfast, where business is the most important meal of the day. I'm your host, Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, otherwise known as VBG. Our goal in this show is to make you 1% smarter today by unpacking business news over the last 24 hours, sprinkle with tips and tricks to help you mind your own business. All right, you beautiful peeps, I know you're not here for me. You never are. I know why you're here, and you're here for the morning mark. Let's jump in, shall we? Look, you guys know there's no prompts required, no drinks, no gear, just you and a functioning brain. We'll work with what we've got. Wherever you are, a desk, truck, kitchen, job site, standing or sitting, it don't matter. Pick one thing you will finish today. Not a list, not 10, not 3, just one. Now mark it mentally and write it down. That is the line in the sand. That's the thing the day doesn't get to erase. This is the pause that sharpens the edge. The moment, the tiny act it's the moment that turns noise into signal, and it's the tiny act that makes business owners dangerous in a good way. That, my friends, is your morning mark. Your day has officially started. All right, my beautiful people. You drive, I dive. Buckle up, buttercup, and let's roll. Now, you know that we start every day, always, with this day in history. Now, you guys know that every day that we do this, we learn mind bending things. Mind bending, okay? And so let me go ahead and pull this up. Now, by the way, I want to bring something up here real quick. You guys know that today, every day is a themed day in a themed color. Okay, so we know that Magical Monday because it's just like mentally, I try to make sure that the blue lens that I put on, blank blank, starts on a Monday. Magical Monday, so everything is blue. Like for me, it's like the worst thing for that day is a cloud in the sky. Not usually, but that's my mindset. Tuesday, Tackle Tuesday. You see, I'm always wearing green. Oh, Wasabi Wednesday, because nothing's black and white. It always 50 shades of gray. And Thursday being Treat Yourself Day. It's the day of royalty. Why? Because this is your day. That's right. This is yo day. Mom and Pop Venti Shop. You're allowed one damn day to treat yourself, and that is today. Okay. And you know, on Friday is always red, which is Good Friday, which is the day of gratitude, Thanksgiving. And we just operate that day being in a place of appreciation for everything that we have, because most of the time we tend to be hypercritical of ourselves. And so today being Treat Yourself Thursday. And to kick off this day, I'm going to try something I've never done before. I'm going to try to share my screen with you guys. Okay. I'm going to try to show you a YouTube video. Okay. Are you ready? From one of my favorite shows, Parks and Rec. Okay, here we go.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2011. Once a year, Donna and I spend a day treating ourselves. What do we treat ourselves to?
Clothes,
Treat yourself.
fragrances,
Treat yourself.
massages,
Treat yourself.
mimosas,
Treat yourself.
fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
It's the best day of the year.
The best day of the year.
All right. Tell me that that worked. Did that work? I think it did. Oh my gosh. Justin, you're going to have to tell me in the comments if you were able to actually see that YouTube video. But today is Treat Yourself Thursday. Okay, and it's not the best time of the year. It's the best time of the week. All right, all right. And by the way, you'll see at the end of today, at the end, after we get through our this day in history and our juicy news, we will then roll into Treat Yourself Thursday. Got a couple ideas, and you guys know I am the king of making my life 1% better, spending under $30 to do it. By the way, I'll tell you about all that at the end of this episode when we talk about something that you must have that will literally transform your life, and you're welcome. Okay, now, can we roll into this day in history, shall we? Shall we? Shall we? We shall. Today, which we know is March 12th, is a day that celebrates the birth of global connectivity and the founding of institutions that foster character and community. It's a date where the web of human interaction was first spun and where the Girl Scouts first began their journey. Are we ready? That should give you a little bit of insight as to what's going on today. Today, 1989, this day in history, the proposal for the WWW. And I am not talking about worldwide wrestling. Nope, I am talking about the World Wide Web. For you born in the 70s, as soon as I went like WWW or WWF, you knew exactly what I was talking about. While working at CERN, interesting, the internet was born from CERN. Bro, just go look at some CERN. Bro, the Epstein doc release and CERN, Stranger Things with dual dimensional portals and all that. Bro, it is real. Okay, but British scientist Tim Berners-Lee submitted a proposal for an information management system. This document described a way to link documents across different computers using hypertext. It was a blueprint for the World Wide Web, the technological breakthrough that fundamentally restructured global commerce, communication, and accounting. Holla, you know that's what I do, right? And I say what I do, I don't actually do it. We just have the greatest accountants ever that do that. What else happened this day in history? This day in history, 1894, Coca-Cola is bottled for the first time. For the first 12 years of its existence, Coca-Cola was only available as a freaking fountain drink. Just imagine a fountain drink just spewing dark, liquid, magical, delicious, cocaine-flavored water. I know, bro. Like, what? Now you understand why that stuff was so insanely addictive? Bro, you put a little bit of cocaine in actual Coke with real sugar, not any of that, fructose crap, real sugar and a little bit of cocaine, that will be the greatest drink in human history. Okay. So on this day in Vicksburg, Mississippi, Joseph Beadhamharn became the first to bottle the beverage, revolutionizing the ready-to-drink industry and setting a new standard for mass market distribution. Oh, come on, man. This day in history, first sound on film motion picture. What? Dr. Lee DeForest, hold on, Dr. Lee DeForest demonstrated his phonofilm process in New York City by recording sound directly onto the edge of the film strip as a variable density optical track. What? He solved the synchronization issues that had plagued early talkies, a technology that would eventually end the silent film era. Come on, man. That was today in history, dude. You want to know what else happened this day in history? Your favorite cookies. Yes, 1912 was the founding of Girl Scouts. That's right. Juliette Gordon Lowe organized the first Girl Guide troop meeting in Savannah, Georgia. Now known as the Girl Scouts of the USA, the organization has spent over a century focused on leadership, outdoor skills, and entrepreneurship, a social shift that has empowered millions of young women. And bro, I would love somebody like Harvard to do like a 50-year study of these chicks that are like give me the ones that are like that like win contests for selling cookies. And I want to track these chicks from like age 5 until they die, or at least to 50, because I want to see like what type of chicks they become, because like they are assassins. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. Walk in and out of Walmart, Target, wherever the heck you're going during cookie season, and it's humanly impossible to basically not run into these gals, and they are assassins, okay? Like I was the kid that was like embarrassed to ask people for crap, okay? No, not these assassins. This is literally how it works. Like this happened to me one time. It was like last year. Okay, so it was last year when they were selling cookies, and I was making a return at Walmart. Okay, so I walk into Walmart and, sir, would you like to buy some cookies? No, I'm good, thank you. Okay, then I walk in to do my return, but then they say, I need to see your ID, but I had that in the car, so then I have to leave, and I'm like, hey, and like, nope. By the way, I'll be right back in, and I still don't want any cookies. No problem, sir. I go to my car, get my driver's license, come back, and literally Men in Black pin, somebody flashed it in front of her eyes, and in 20 seconds forgot even what I looked like. Sir, would you like to buy some cookies? The parents are like, Amy, please stop bugging him. He's already said no. Okay, that was the third time. When I left again, after my return was done, yep, little Amy. Hi, sir. And I think her name was like spelled Aimee, because you know it can't be normal with this generation. And so it's like, no. Like she walks over, no. I'm telling you, somebody has to track these chicks, bro. These are future presidents, CEOs, and basically fighter pilots. Okay, they're just crazy. And I just have a feeling that crazy starts early. Okay, what else happened this day in history? This day in history, 1930, Mahatma Gandhi begins the Salt March. In a landmark act of nonviolent civil disobedience, Gandhi began a 240-mile march to the Arabian Sea to protest the British salt monopoly in India. Boy, the British are just having their ass handed to them. Bro, first of all, I need to apologize for missing Wasabi Wednesday yesterday. I woke up at 5 a.m. and which, by the way, you guys know I'm up at 3, 4 at the latest. So 5 a.m., I'm not exaggerating, during the week is sleeping in, and I woke up with a splitting headache. I don't ever have headaches, and I don't know the difference between a headache and a migraine, but it was really bad. And so, yeah, she was kind of off for me. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was allergies. Maybe I don't know what it was. But I woke up and was like, man, I can't do the show today. But I say that because Wasabi Wednesday, last night, well, I had some tea to talk about the British family, bro. The beef between William and Harry. Actually, it's not even really that. It's the beef between the royal family and Harry's wife. Let's be honest. Okay. And by the way, if you guys want some, Megyn Kelly bought Meghan. What's her name? Meghan of Sussex. Whatever the hell her last name is. Okay. William and Meghan bought her $60 box of chocolates, and it has 4 chocolate bars. She tried 2 of them on air. Disgusting. Tries her $12 jam. Okay. Yeah, dude. this gal has no concept of customer feedback, doesn't understand business whatsoever. And so the British family, bro, you know that they control the Strait of Hormuz, this whole Iran thing, and the Lloyds of London just basically backed out. So we're not gonna share any ships. Mr. Orange Man says, "We got you, playa. Keep sailing through, dude." This dude keeps, this dude in the last week or two, he's basically said our former ally, the Brits, bro, our former ally. Go back to George W. and Tony Blair. Bro, that was 9/11 times 20, 25 years ago. In 20 years, we are no longer allies. Is that not blowing your face off, bro? It's blowing mine off. Shoot, playa. What? No way. Really? All right. Famous birthdays. Are you guys ready? All right. Mitt Romney. I know. Our favorite Mormon politician. You ever met a Mormon who doesn't have the greatest smile in human history? Look at anybody in the Osmond family. Go find anybody in Utah and go look at the Romneys. They are just the happiest humans alive. Okay. James Taylor. Come on now. 5-time Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter. Bro. Liza Minnelli. Oh my God. You got to go watch Kristen Wiig do her impersonation of Liza Minnelli. Oh, dude, Liza is insane. Kristen Wiig's impersonation is mind-bending. Okay, she's insane. All right. What else is going on this day in history? No way. No way. This day in history, 1933, FDR's first, what he called Fireside Chats. Well, not a tragedy. This media event was a response to the Great Depression. President Roosevelt used the relatively new technology of radio to speak directly to the American people, restoring confidence in the banking system during a period of extreme national stress, which we all know. We've seen It's a Wonderful Life, and we know what happens to Bedford Falls if we lose local biz. If we lose the mom and pop Venti shop, if we lose the corner 5 and dime, we know what happens, and it turns into Pottersville. We know that, okay? So thank you for being the voice of the people and giving the people comfort during that time, because when people get scared, the big boys take advantage of it and continue to dominate. Now, would you like to know the fun fact this day in history? Are you ready? Today, being March 12th, today is, ready for this? National Plant a Flower Day. What? Yes. National Plant a Flower Day. That's right. For our owners in DFW. Come on, man. Like, this is fantastic. We know in DFW right now, well, this morning it's actually kind of chilly, but it's literally Rebecca's already calling the yard guy. We need to get our grass mowed. And I'm like, it's time for me to do my fertilizer again. But dude, go plant a flower. That's right. Look, we all need a little joy today. And God made flowers to give us joy. Okay. All right. Now, did you guys enjoy? I freaking knew. Did you guys enjoy this day in history? Remember, the purpose of today's show is for you to get 1% smarter. Technically, we haven't even got into the juice of news. Not yet. Okay. And you already got 1% smarter. And technically, if you get 1% smarter, we have a handshake agreement between us, which is I will help make you 1% smarter in a very entertaining way. And your job is that if I get you to crack a smile, even once, or you learn one thing today, our agreement, I'm a man of my word. I'll honor my word. You have to honor your word, which is like and subscribe. All right, now, that's it. AA Ron requires no compensation other than that, okay? Now, would you guys like to jump into some juicy news? I don't know. I'm just asking. Would you like to jump into some juicy news? Juicy news. Juicy news. I knew you would, you beautiful people. All right. Now, you guys know every day is up to date. It is the freshest news that is in the last 24 to 36 hours based on if I'm doing this show on a Monday. You know what I'm saying, playa? All right. Are you guys ready for the first Mom and Pop Venti story of the day. Here it is. New York City Mom and Pop Coalition fights surge in auto insurance premiums. Yes, yes, and yes, the story. A coalition of over 30 independent retailers, including bodegas, laundromats, and salons. Our baby, by the way. That's literally all of our accounting clients. Our mom and pop Venti shops, I say all of them, like 90% of them, that are just like that. 1 to 20 employees. Venti means 20. It does not mean large because of Starbucks means 20. So the mom and pop service base, like the bodegas, laundromats, salons, yes, yes, and yes. They all sent an urgent letter to Governor Hochul today. March 12th, they are backing a state plan to crack down on insurance fraud and legal abuse after seeing premiums for service vehicles surge 50 to 100% since 2021. Why? How is this effing possible, bro? How? How is it that you can have these morons, and I am talking scarlet letter M for effing moron. How can these idiots understand that the majority of their economy is the Venti? This is the same thing in California. And these morons that live in the castle who never put down the drawbridge to cross the moat, to truck down the hill into the village where us peasants are hanging out. It's BS, playa. It is BS, okay? And because of that, you have a bunch of people who are uninformed of the needs of the people. And you always know that these are people that literally have no real world experience because they don't put like things in there like, starts at 50 employees, something like that. Do something like that because small business already pays the highest cost of goods of everything. Every line item on their P&L, they already pay the highest cost because they have no economies of scale. Zero. You understand? If your idea is to have the best damn coffee shop in town, it is not if, but when you go out of business. Because you can't stay in business in today's economy. Not with what Peter Thiel calls Monopoly 2.0. You can't. There are 10 companies, listen to me, 10 companies. The last company was Walmart. There's an acronym, BAM, BAM, Want. You know, like the Flintstones, BAM, 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 BAM. BAM, BAM, Want. 10 companies valued at 1 trillion or higher. 1 trillion or higher. Never supposed to be like that. Never. And these big boys keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they keep squeezing out the little guy. It is not okay. It is not okay. And so anytime we see the small business kind of linking arms, it's always a good sign, bro. So what else is going on in the news today? Huh? Oh, how about this? How about this? Wisconsin home baker legislative push misses the mark. So here's the story. Senator Eric Wimberger's bill expands cottage food rules to more non-refrigerated homemade items, but requires state registration, liability insurance, a food certificate, and home inspections unless sales are under 10K, with a strict 40,000 gross sales cap. Okay, so home bakers are groups like the Wisconsin Cottage Food Association say it treats them like restaurants and lacks inspection funding or details. Why it matters. If you sell baked goods, jams, or treats at markets, online, or pop-ups, like farmers markets, this could cap your revenue growth, add compliance cost, and delay operations. Dude, like this can absolutely cap and hurt you as a home kitchen. Okay, so look, bottom line, if this thing passes, like we got to make sure that you guys are able to make a good living in this. I tell you, my aunt does, her name is Fran, and so she has granola, but of course she calls it Franola, all paleo, the healthiest crap on earth, and it is effing delicious, okay? And for years, so she's out in Cali, and they had home food service laws, and literally food inspectors would come out to her house to inspect every year. And but here's the thing, she couldn't ship interstate, only intrastate. And so, but she's got so many people, me included, that love to get the monthly, $40 little subscription package. I get a couple little bags of granola, and she can now ship to Tejas. She can ship anywhere now because now she's moved into her own commercial kitchen. Yes. So I tell you, man, when people do stuff like this, it just really, because what they're trying to do is now force you into a brick and mortar so they can get more money off of you. I swear, bro. These people just don't care. They literally do not care about you whatsoever. It's so obvious, bro. It is so obvious. Oh, dude, it drives me effing crazy. What else is going on in the news today, Matt? SBA opens low interest disaster loans for Florida frost and freeze victims. Did you even know this was a thing, man? Did you even know this? I didn't know. I had no idea that like this was an actual thing, that Florida got frost. Like, you always like, when you watch the movie Trading Places from the 80s and like you get the orange report, and it's like the thing for commodities, like that sets the entire orange prices for the whole season. And of course the Duke brothers were trying to corner the market, and so, but like I didn't know that Florida had a freaking freeze. Did you hear about that? Did you hear that Florida was having an economic disaster? I didn't. On March 11th, the SBA declared an economic injury disaster for frost and freeze damage January 23rd through February 2nd across multiple Florida counties, plus some in Georgia. Yes, eligible small business and nonprofits can access economic injury disaster loans, the EIDLs, up to $2 million. And the best part about these loans, 4% interest. Yeah, up to 30-year terms. No payments or interest for the first 12 months. Deadline for this app is November 4th. It's free money, playa. When I say free money, it's basically 4%, which, think about inflation, it's basically free. Okay? Go get it. You brick and mortar shops, you nurseries, you restaurants, right? You service providers. If you guys lost revenue from the cold snap, you can now borrow working capital at literally insane interest rates to cover your payroll, your rent, your inventory, your restocking, buying you that time to recover without draining your savings account. Or even worse, maxing out those freaking credit cards. And I am waiting for the 10% credit card cap. Dude, that's got to be put in place ASAP. Now, you can apply, obviously, at SBA.gov. Also, you guys know, a little tiny micro plug for us. We're the only accounting firm on earth that partners with our business owners. So that's why you can find out everything about us at accountingplusaccountability.com. Accountingplusaccountability.com, you'll go and you'll see everything that we do. And part of that is we understand our business owners have to spin all 7 plates of business themselves. And so you guys know the 7 plates of business. Number 1 is the trade, 2 is the accounting plate, 3 is sales and marketing, HR, customer service, logistics, and IT. When does a small mom and pop venti shop owner have time to do that paperwork? You don't. We do. That's all we do is administration and ministerial tasks for you guys, man. We are the full service small business back office company, right? Starting with accounting. Because universally, it's the one thing they all hate spinning. I know, we all hate spinning that plate. But if you guys need help with that, hit us up. Matter of fact, when you go to Accounting Plus Accountability in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little button there that says Talk with AA Ron. You know that's me, right? Okay, so you can literally go schedule a time to talk with me. It links directly to my calendar, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. Business, accounting, consulting. You want to talk about strategy. I got this idea for a business, whatever it is. You can go there. You can also scroll down a little bit, and you'll see a little plug for the website. You can go and ask a question as well. So if you have any questions, you guys need help with some paperwork, hit us up, man. That's all we do. What else is going on in the news today? Interesting. Here's an interesting story of one of my favorite states. Michigan grants tax filing and payment relief for storm and tornado victims. So here's the story. Following the March 8th state of emergency for severe storms and tornadoes in Branch, Cass, and St. Joe counties, the Michigan Department of Treasury is offering deadline extensions with waived penalties and interest on 2026 state income, corporate, and sales use tax filings for affected businesses. Now, you all know that it's very much a trust but verify situation with the states, which means you're going to have to prove it. You got to prove it, which is not hard. Go pull up your windy weather app. Go screenshot that day right over the Google Maps. Yeah, so basically we were all shut down. We all know. By the way, here's a little fun fact story about Michigan. Now, any of you guys that have been to Michigan know that Michigan is actually 2 different states based on the season you're going. So season 1 of Michigan happens to be the most beautiful spring and summer place you've ever seen. And actually there's a place close to Detroit called Novi, which is my last name, so I'm sort of partial to the Detroit, the Great Lakes area. I love Michigan. I love the I don't know. There's just something primal about that place, and I love it, and I love the people too, man. And to be honest with you, I was a competitive swimmer my entire life, and I grew up Catholic. And so, if you know anything about that growing up, then you knew that I really only had two choices for colleges. One was Notre Dame, obviously, and two was University of Michigan because of their swim program. University of Michigan, one of the greatest swim programs on earth, but actually their sports program is just redonkulous. I love Michigan. But also Michigan in the winter, the worst state on earth, the worst state. My son is very good with design and CAD and everything. And so his junior year, we were looking at sending him to a college up in Detroit called CCCS, College of Creative Studies, CCS, the College of Creative Studies, something like that. And in Detroit, and we did the tour. So we fly out to Detroit, and there's a bunch of us, and we all they put us up in the same hotel, and there's a bus from the school that's going to pick us up in the morning. And so we all walk out because maybe the bus is getting there close in a few minutes, and we all walk out, and the overhang of the hotel, and so Rebecca's ahead of us, and she walks just one step outside the overhang, takes a step, and then slides. She hits her butt and slides to the point where, I don't know, like across the parking lot. Okay, probably, I'm not kidding, probably 100 feet she slid. Okay, the entire parking lot was black ice, the whole parking lot. Okay, so the bus pulls up, and I'm like, how is the city not shut down? What's going on here? How are you guys even functioning? And the guy's like, this is just every day in Detroit. Like, huh? Now you know why the people of Detroit are crazy. Okay, and so this story, Detroit, dude, Michigan. Here's the story, man. Following this March 8th state emergency for severe storms, which Michigan already gets nailed with this crap, okay? They're extending that the deadline. So again, if you were a local retail service and you were located in a damaged area, you have a few extra weeks to file and pay without late fees, okay? So just know you've gotten an extension, but you still have to get it done. What else is going on in the news today? Something about NFIB, man. I love NFIB, by the way, National Federation of Independent Business Owners, or independent businesses. They're just one of the greatest lobbying organizations, period. And so, but NFIB backs Louisiana amendment to centralize sales tax collection. Interesting. Dude, you will never know how powerful NFIB is. The stuff that they do for you guys, and most of the stuff is behind the scenes. Like, and meaning unless you're like in the know or you're on their website seeing what they do, you don't actually see what they do because it happens kind of like behind the set. Okay. But the story is on March 11th, NFIB urged support for House Bill 620, which is a constitutional amendment creating a single statewide system for collecting local sales and use taxes instead of the current patchwork of local rules. Thank you. Retailers and service providers in Louisiana waste hours and dollars juggling multiple tax filings and rates. Simplification slashes compliance costs and errors, letting you as the business owner spend more time on your customers and less on freaking paperwork, playa. Come on now, which we know helps us increase those margins. And you guys know the only thing that separates Big Co from Little Co, there's only one thing, bro. What is it? Market. MRKT, money, resources, knowledge and training, and technology. That's it. And so for us, anytime you guys see anything like this, where like NFIB is doing things for you on your benefit, dude, this is huge for us. Okay. Because in the end, it's always us. So the Mom Pop Venti shop pays the highest late fees of any business demographic. Because we have to spend all 7 plates of business ourselves, which means that all of us have this pile of work, okay? And we call it the round to it pile. So anything that we got to do that we don't want to do, we put in this pile and it collects. And then like eventually we see it enough and we're like, oh, fine, I'll go through this pile of laundry. Basically in our mind, it's a pile of laundry, okay? In my mind, it's a pile of laundry, okay? And then we start going through the round to it pile and it's always something that's late, always, okay? And so it's like, great, thank you for allowing us to pay all these freaking late fees and everything. Okay, You want to know what else is going on in the news today? You want to know? Because there's some good stuff, man. There's some good stuff. Utah governor urged to veto digital advertising tax that hits small business. Here's the story. In March, in a March 11 letter, the National Taxpayer Union called on Governor Cox to veto SB 287, warning the tax on digital ad platforms will raise advertising costs passed through to small advertisers. Why it matters. If your shop relies on Facebook, Google, or Instagram ads to drive foot traffic, costs are going to jump, could jump, okay? Which squeezing the marketing budgets of us mom pop venti shops, right? Which then forces higher prices, which then means that we have to minimize the size of the reach because we don't have the money to pay for that reach, okay? So lobbying for this veto is huge, okay? It's a big, big deal for us mom and pop venti shops. And by the way, like you hear about these businesses doing it like, oh, we're going to like tax you for the money that you spend on the marketing. Okay, like fine. And by the way, us mom and pop venti shops, if that's how we generate our revenue, we have to pay it because in the end, we don't trip over dollars to pick up pennies, okay? So obviously we know we pay the extra tax or penalty, whatever it is, because we have to continue feeding the business. Sales and marketing is like it's the food for the business. Like you've got to be able to have it so it nourishes the rest of the business. You know, it's a big deal for us. What else is going on in the news today? Really? No way. No way. No way. No way. Now, you guys know that one of the big stories I've been talking about the last couple of weeks is the SBA minimizing their typical 5A or 7A, I think they're 504 loan programs, and restricting it to only 100% citizenship being able to apply. Not even 99%. There's 1% foreign ownership. They won't allow it. Okay, so, but here's a brand new story that is, because I was like, how are they going to do that? Here it is. SBA expands loan ban to foreign nationals and non-citizens. So we've already been talking about this, okay? Following last week's flagship loan restrictions, so now the SBA has issued a brand new policy, okay? Extending the ban not only to its 7A 504 programs, to its surety bond and microloan programs. So effective in 30 days, all applicants for any SBA guaranteed loan must be U.S. citizens or nationals. Dude. Now, remember, privatized funding that's not government funding, piece of cake. You can still get it, do your normal stuff. They look at your assets, look at your credit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but I'm talking SBA. Bro, this is now it's across the board. This is a complete polar 180 shift for migrant or really immigrant entrepreneurs, okay? So here, what I'm trying to tell you is if you have a non-citizen partner, even if they have a green card, your access to low interest federal capital, that window's closing. You need to hear me, okay? It's making it really important you secure those lines of credit now before those. Now, understand, the 78504 programs are already closed. Like you already have to be 100% there. These are the other two. Get it while you can, or you got to change ownership. It's happening right now. You want to hear something else that's huge in the news today, which, trust me, is enormous. AI tools now save small business owners 16 hours per week. By the way, it's true. It's 100% true. So the story, the SBE Council's Digital State of Small Business survey released yesterday reveals that 77% of owners are now AI optimists. The data shows that AI-powered tools for pricing and marketing are saving owners a median of 5 hours personally, plus 11.5 hours in employee time weekly. Yes, dude. I'm telling you right now, I have been an early adopter since day one. Day one. Literally, when OpenAI, and the funny thing is I almost never use OpenAI today, chat. I almost never use chat today. Like out of 100 search inquiries, I might use chat 5 out of 100, maybe less. Okay. But, dude, the very first time that I got my hands on it, and as soon as it had access to the internet, I went in and said, okay, I need and I literally said, go to allrecipes.com. I want you to find recipes. And I gave it my macro table that was under like $20 to make, took less than 30 minutes to do, and had at least, I think it was like 100, had to have a 4.5 star rating with at least 100 reviews. And I literally basically said, give me a month's worth of meals. And then I said, give me the shopping list. It did it all, bro. I was hooked, bro. I was hooked, man. From that day, because you have to understand, bro, I am the laziest person I know, which makes no sense to you because you guys know I'm training right now for a cross-country bike ride. But trust me, everything AA Ron does, it's because I have a burden. I'm like a dirty Apostle Paul, bro. I have a thorn in my side. I have a burden that must be accomplished. That is my only source of, I don't know, motivation. It's like the Explorer Cortez. Whenever I tackle something, I only have one or two options. It's like we burn our ships. Either we conquer or we get conquered, but there is no retreat. Either we do this or we don't. And what I always say is D or C. We're gonna do it unless I'm dead or in a coma. It's the only way this doesn't happen. And so, dude, the amount of time that AI, and since day one, I just knew that this is going to be the wave. And the rest of the organization, all of us use it. Like yesterday, so Rebecca had she had a presentation she's doing today on kind of an update to our PTO policy. And she's like, it's going to be a quick little 15-minute little thing. I said, okay, cool. Well, send me your presentation. And then Google has this brand new, like if you go to Gemini, and they've got this drop down that says like Canvas. And so you can go to Canvas and you can literally have it create anything for you. And so I go to Canvas, and then like I had it do something, and then I went to Notebook LM, and then I had it create. Basically, I had it redo the presentation, and I fed it the prompt, and it spit out the most beautiful presentation. It already had my colors. It basically had my voice card. It had everything already dialed in, ready to go. I mean, I say this all the time, that we as an organization, for sure, guaranteed save $250,000 a year in high dollar consulting services. I guarantee it, $250,000 a year. Okay. So it's a big, big deal. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is start with chat. Just go. And by the way, they're doing a great job on improving it. The problem is a lot of people don't use it because it is accurate like 95% of the time. And when it's not, it makes you like an idiot. And none of us really look like an idiot. We don't like looking like idiots. Like most of us like are idiots, but we don't like looking like that, And so, but for you guys as a business owner, you need to go from experimenting to actually putting it in as essential, because I'm telling you right now, 5 years from now, either AI is going to be running your business, or you're going to be completely lost. It's either running your business or you're not running your business. It's like that. It's that big of a deal. Okay. I mean, these tools are literally giving you guys days. Like you have to understand, bro. Like we built our HR manual. Normally, you have to understand. Go back 20 years ago. If you went in an HR manual and you were a small business like us and you didn't have the cash flow to hire an HR director, somebody that you could pay a good amount of money, that's got a degree in HR, that knows all this crap, you would normally have to get with that person. Either they're on staff. If you don't have on staff, you got to go find an HR consultant, and you usually had to pay like $5,000 to $10,000 for an HR manual, which was basically the first draft plus like 5 revisions. Okay, and it would typically take 6 months to a year for a completed HR manual. Okay, and it took usually weekly touch points with the one creating it, and oftentimes your HR director, you're paying them, and oftentimes they're actually outsourcing the actual authorship of the document, or they have software that they use that they've paid for, which is why you pay them their hourly rate for consulting, because they have tools that you don't have access to. And so then 6 months, a year later, you have your HR manual. You know that today, 10 minutes and you've got your first draft. $20 a month for a subscription. That's it. $20 a month for. So between all of our AIs, and I pay for all of them. Gemini, obviously, Chat. Let's start with the OG Chat, of course. But I actually probably need to turn off the premium because I don't really use it for that. But I'm going to keep it anyway because it's so cheap. The value versus cost on AI, it's not even close to the value you get. So between all of them, I pay a couple $100 a month, and I'm saving 99% because I guarantee I would be getting invoiced 20,000 a month for everything, and we're paying $200 a month for all the subscriptions. That's it. And half of that is because Claude is $100 a month. Yes. The other ones are all $20. Grok, Gemini, Chat. Those are the main ones that I use. Gemini, Grok, Chat, and Claude. Okay. So, and there's other ones too, man. I'm just telling you, they absolutely unequivocally will change your life. What else is going on in the news today? Huh, my beautiful people. Oh, you know what? We're going to do one more, and then we're going to jump into Treat Yourself Thursday. Yes, we are. Let's see. Really? No way. Listen to this, guys. Listen. This is, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Orange Man Administration. Thank you. Okay. New Senate bill seeks to exempt small businesses from presidential tariffs. Yes, bro. Yes, and yes. Here's a story. Bill S. 4038, introduced March 11th, would exempt small business concerns from duties imposed under Trade Act Section 122 and prevent price gouging on tariffs-affected goods. And obviously, why it matters to us. Like today is our peer advisory group. And by the way, we're the only accounting firm on earth that actually has these. But again, we're the only accounting firm on earth that believes in accounting plus accountability. You have to understand, like, there is tension between every business owner and their accountant. Why? Because the business owner goes to the accountant and says, hey, my business isn't profiting. It's not doing X. Where's my budget? Blah, blah. And the accountant says, that's not my job. Yes, it is. No, it's not. The accountant says, my job is to document your transactions appropriately to ensure that you are by the book for the federal, state, and local revenue collecting agency. That is my only job. But I need your guidance on how to help run my business. That's not my job. So let me get this straight. Your job's to document what I did yesterday, but you can't help me tomorrow. That's right. Boop. We can help you. We're the only accounting firm on earth that is accounting plus accountability. And if you go to accountingplusaccountability.com, you will see a quote by Aaron, this boy. And I say on there, if you're looking at hiring a firm, when you're looking, you can either partner with a firm that obsesses over your business as much as you do, or just go hire an accountant. Your choice. Okay. So bottom line, if you guys, as a small business, need help with this stuff, you need help with the paperwork, you need help figuring this stuff out, making sense of some of this stuff. You need some consulting. You need some strategy planning. You've been stuck for 2 years, for 10 years. You don't know how to get past the size you're at. We are here to help you. I spend half my week just coaching with you guys, okay? And it's always free. I never charge for that. You can talk to me for anything at any time. You go to accountingplusaccountability.com, and you'll see a little gold button up in the header that says Talk with Aaron. That's me. And that'll link directly to my calendar. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about, including how horrible the Cowboys are. And by the way, you know the rule. If you learn one thing today or I make you smile, we have a handshake agreement. And that is, I will deliver this and not charge you money, and you will deliver a like and subscribe. Come on now. That's all Aaron requires. That's it. Okay. So, yes, please, we need to get this passed, but I was talking about our peer advisory groups, and one of the guys in our group, his name is Justin, and he owns a really, it's a small business. I think they have like maybe 50, 75 employees, which, small business for the SBA is 0 to 500, okay? This dude has been railroaded by tariffs because he basically is in the foundation supply business, Okay, so the people that bid these big concrete jobs, parking garages, high rises, apartments, he supplies them their material. This dude gets railroaded by tariffs, and there's not a damn thing he can do about it. Dude, we need to pass Bill S 4038, man. We need to exempt these small businesses from the tariffs. We're not gonna lose that much money, but it's gonna be that big of a difference to the small business. If somebody's listening, which I know they're not, nobody's listening to Aaron, but if somebody was, we're only like 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon. Okay, so we're only 6 degrees from President Trump. If somebody can get this to our boy, okay, please pass it. Pass this damn thing. It's important. It's important. All right. Now, if we can shift into one of my favorite segments of the week, which is Treat Yourself Thursday. And remember, what is Treat Yourself Thursday? Well, let me just remind you what Treat Yourself Thursday is. Shall I? Okay. How about this? Mm-hmm.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2011. Once a year, Donna and I spend a day treating ourselves. What do we treat ourselves to?
Clothes,
Treat yourself.
fragrances,
Treat yourself.
massages,
Treat yourself.
mimosas,
Treat yourself.
fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
It's the best day of the year.
The best day of the year.
It's the best day of the week. That's right. Treat Yourself Thursday, which means what we do here, look, it ain't nothing, okay? What we do here, it looks like the picture closed to maintain recording quality. Okay, whatever. Hopefully you guys heard Treat Yourself Thursday, because Thursday is the day that you focus on you. This is the day that you guys make sure that between now and this weekend, you schedule that massage, okay? You go buy that little $20, $30 little trinket that makes your life 1% better. You guys know, bro. Like, that is the whole purpose of this show. Systems over goals. A system. Show up every day, and accidentally, in a year, you're like, oh my God, I'm a freaking genius. Yes, accidentally, because you have a system, and your system is, I listen to Aaron every day. I can't really put him on 1.5 speed because the dude is crazy psycho and basically talks at 1.5 speed. So I can put him at 125, and then he starts sounding like a chipmunk. But I love his stuff. And so today, being Treat Yourself, I wanted to treat you guys too. And by the way, you guys will see everything that I show you today is going to be in the description and link below to the Amazon link, which you guys know I only buy crap on Amazon. And yes, if you guys decide to buy, and by the way, anything that I recommend on Treat Yourself Thursday, I'm a big believer in eating my own home cooking. If I don't think it's delicious, I ain't talking about it. So everything out of my mouth is something that I use on the daily, okay? That is guaranteed to make my life 1% better. Treat Yourself 2011. Treat Yourself 2026. That's right. And the item up, the magical steamer. Yes, this will unequivocally change your life. I have 2 of these. I keep one in the house, and I keep one in the van. They're so damn cheap. And you have to understand, Rebecca, like everybody's like, hey, Ron, you're the cheapest dude I know. No way, dude. I am literally, according to my wife, whose Indian name is Squeaks When Walks. Okay, that is Rebecca. I have to make my life 1% better and buy things that don't hit and activate her radar on expenses. So this dude has perfected buying crap under $30. And so I sneak under the radar. This will change your life. It's got a removable little container here for water fill. By the way, when I say we've had this for years, we had the tall steamer. We have not used an ironing board in 15 years, Play. It's always been a steamer. And this has been our steamer of choice for years. When you travel, though, make sure this comes out, because if it tilts over, the water can spew out a little bit. It doesn't really leak. It's a little bit, but not bad. I think it's like $30, Amazon. This thing will outperform every steamer. You'll see it's got an auto set. You can push it down and it locks. And so every single day, how I get ready every day is that steamer. It's plugged in. I do it. My shirt is always wrinkled because when I finish up for the day, I just put that crap in a pile. Comes out washed and it's like all wrinkly and stuff, and then I have to steam it every day. This bad boy, she is perfect. She is flawless, and I'm telling you right now, will be the best steamer you've ever had. And you're welcome. Now, was that not a great little treat yourself? I told you, bro. And just wait. Every single Thursday, you're gonna see some cool crap that will change your life. Let me say that different. Your life will get 1% better because of Treat Yourself Thursday. I promise you that. Okay. Now, can we move into the reframe of the week? You know, we finish every single episode with a reframe from Scott Adams' latest book, How to Reframe Your Brain. And you know he's the creator of Dilbert, and you also know that he passed away January 13th of this year. This show is really in honor of him. And that's actually his coffee mug. And if you know anything about Scott Adams, that looks exactly like Scott Adams right there. And so he would literally every day do his simultaneous sip in the morning. Boop. My morning mark is really inspiration from the simultaneous sip. Okay. And so, boop, that's our Scott Adams right there. And so he wrote a book called How to Reframe Your Brain. Go pick it up on Amazon. It's still, dude, this thing will change your life. This will change your life. And he wrote this a year before he passed away. It's his latest, greatest. And we, every single day go through a reframe from his book. And you know, the show and everything we do is in honor of him and in memory of him. So let's jump into this episode and this lesson on how to reframe your brain, chapter 2, which is success reframes. I'm rolling off of page 20 right now. At the top of it says boredom. Okay. Boredom is an underappreciated asset for success. We think of it as a lack of action, and it is. But it is a far better starting point for your journey to success than having too much fun to get serious about your future. Life rewards action over inaction, and boredom is exactly the kind of mental state people need to organically trigger them into acting. Which is true, by the way, because if you're somebody like me, born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s, and partying in the 90s, without question, go ask our parents back then what their kids' favorite saying was. And all of you millennial and Gen Z don't know what I'm saying, but everybody else that's Gen X and older, simultaneously, they already said it, and they said, I'm bored. Exactly. Every kid on earth, I'm bored. You understand, we invented like sticks and dirt and rocks, and we would go out and find like round stones and play marbles. Like, bro, we just activated our brain like Toy Story, but in real life. You know, the Pixar film Toy Story, you know, like where little Timmy, whatever the kid's name is, playing with all the toys, and they're so real to him that they come to life. Okay. But of course, in the movie, they're really alive. But that's what I'm saying, bro. It's like that. You've got to be bored to activate the brain. Okay, you got to create that space. There's a reason why I wake up as early as I do, and it's because I let my brain roam. And so as soon as I wake up, the reason why I wake up between 3 and 4 is because I set a 1-hour timer in the morning. And it's my brain. It's like when you get up in the morning, you got to let the hound dog out, and you're on 5 acres. He just needs to go roam. He just has to go roam. There's no rhyme or reason. That's how it is with me. My brain has to roam, and I let it roam every morning, and it activates that creative side of me. Okay. So, but we're talking about being bored, but you know, what type of action, that's what matters. When you're bored with life and directionless, the fastest way out is to ramp up your risk of embarrassment. Oh, bro, he's not lying, bro. After all, what do you have to lose? The simplest way to embarrass yourself is by trying to do something you know you don't do well in front of witnesses. Dude, if you see me at the gym, you guys know, starting next week, I'll be posting, I'll have a different YouTube channel, a channel on my YouTube channel for workouts. And so just people call me like the straight Richard Simmons. Okay. So I work out in full colorful gear. So every day is color themed. So I have like little running shorts that are micro, tiny, that'll be this color. So today when I go to the gym, I'll have shorts that are like, if I bend over, you can basically see my crack. But when you run, you don't want anything around your legs. And I don't run, but I walk. And so to train for my annual bike ride, 95% of my training is on a really, really, really steep treadmill, incline treadmill. And so I am the dude, and the reason why I do what I do, and because I have to trick my brain to get excited about it, and I've got to be honest, man. I dance. So when I go work out, I dance. Okay. So I have to trick my mind so it doesn't think it's working. So if you see me, and I just started yesterday because I need you guys to hold me accountable to my 4 workouts a week because I leave for this year's bike ride in 35 days. Okay. So this week, all my workouts at 4 times go to an hour and a half on a treadmill. Next week, they go to 2 hours, then 2.5 hours, then 3 hours. And then I launch. So I get to 3 hours on a treadmill, high incline treadmill, usually like the week before I leave for peak optimal conditioning. And then I head and ride my bike to Washington, D.C., which you guys know takes me like 6 or 7 weeks. And so, but I am the king of embarrassing myself. I can't be embarrassed. As a matter of fact, I try as hard as I can to be the most embarrassing guy in the gym. And to Scott's point, it's a freaking superpower. People that don't get embarrassed are also the first to apologize. Those that don't apologize, it's because their ego gets in the way. When I say ego, the part of their ego of that represents pride gets in the way. And if you can't get embarrassed, pride typically doesn't show up. Not in getting embarrassed, which means you have no problem being the first to apologize. You're like, that's on me. I apologize. No ego. Okay. So no embarrassment. Okay. All right. A recreational axe throwing business recently opened near where I live. Throwing an axe at a target isn't as easy as it looks. You must judge the rotation of the axe just right, or the handle hits the target with a humiliating thunk before falling to the ground in disgrace. If it's your first time with an axe, you're guaranteed to look like a boneless chicken trying to juggle bowling pins. Invite some friends and embarrass yourself. You won't be bored. Matter of fact, Rebecca and I are very competitive. And this chick, like, we went axe throwing. Within her second throw, stuck. And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, like I'm an expert. Like, I'm like, okay, line it up. Huata on the ground. Huata on the ground. Like, and she's like, stuck. And she starts freaking aiming it, and she's aiming it at the freaking bullseye and hitting it, bro. Okay. So both of us are very competitive, but I don't get embarrassed. Okay. So that thing hitting the ground don't mean crap to me, but I do want to beat her. Okay. So if you're looking to advance your career, this is the time to scare the bejesus out of yourself by asking for a raise that is so aggressive, you worry your boss will either laugh or fire you on the spot. That's not boring. Or see if you can get partners to invest in you, or work with you on a new business, or sign up for a training class that could change your life. You have many options for scaring yourself in productive ways. Boredom is nature's way to remind you to do that. I have one rule. If you are scared of something, most of us lean away from what we're afraid of, lean toward it. So I've always been scared of heights. So I'm the guy that went bungee jumping. I would go skydiving, ride the roller coasters, constantly challenging my fears. Petrified of public speaking, joined Toastmasters, was in Toastmasters for years, man. Lean toward that. And the thing is when you lean toward the things that you're afraid of, the reason you're afraid is because you're not good at it. And then you're afraid of being embarrassed, and you're afraid of what people think. So here's the usual frame. I'm bored with life. But here's a new way of looking at it, a new reframe. I'm not embarrassing myself enough. Get out there, okay, and put yourself in game mode. Think of it like you're a game, like you're playing a real video game, okay? And it's like everybody around you is one of those like non-player characters, NPCs, and you're the only real person in your video game. The whole game is your simulation. Now go out there and embarrass the hell out of yourself. Who the hell cares what happens? Go do it. I promise you, if you see me at the gym, I want you to high five AA Ron. You're going to be seeing me wear bright purple shorts today. My pedaling force shirt, because I always wear our charity ride shirts at the gym. Trying to bring as much awareness to the cause as possible. And by the way, if you guys want to check us out, you can go to ponzirelief.org. It's an annual thing Rebecca and I started a few years ago to bring awareness to victims of financial crimes and Ponzi schemes. You can search for us on Facebook, Pedaling Against Ponzi's. And you'll see. You can also just Google, Aaron Novinger 2,000 miles, and you'll see all the press releases because we stop in 12 big cities, 12 or 13 big cities, and do a bunch of PR. But it's to bring awareness because, in my opinion, it's one of the worst crimes in history because every crime that I know of, except for this one, has victims that'll speak up, except for this crime. Because every person that's taken advantage of is so embarrassed and ashamed of what happened to them, and they think it's their fault. They tell no one. And oftentimes the kids don't even know about it until they read about it in the will. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. And so that's why we do what we do. I want you to go out there and embarrass the hell out of yourself. If you saw the bike that I ride, it's designed to embarrass me. It's designed for attention. Everything is designed around that. And so I thought Scott's lesson today from chapter 2, you're not embarrassing yourself enough. Bro, this just hit so hard for me because that's all I do when I go to the gym. I dance. I like somehow I don't trip, but I just have a blast. I lip sync my song, and you're about to see on the video from yesterday. The last song was "Believe" by Cher, my queen. Oh my God, dude! Like I don't know, man. It just gets me going. I love it, but I love being embarrassed. I don't mind it. Try it. It'll change your life, man. I hope today was like the best business for breakfast you've ever seen. I knew that it would be, and I knew that you guys would love it, okay? But everything we talk about here, if you think that it's hard or you think it's easy, you have to understand you're right. You're right, okay? Look, guys, don't just work in your business. You got to make sure that you're minding your own business. All right, my beautiful people, you got the news, you got the tips and tricks. Now go own this day. My name is Aaron Novinger, the Venti Business Guy, and you guys know what time it is. What time is it, guys? It's time to get to work. Pow!